Hello, and welcome to Anime Territory. I'm your host this week, Johnny Ruhal. With me, as always, is my co-host, Benjamin Mataba Auto Revolver Shabbing.
Okay.
And you gonna go ahead and tell us what episode this is?
This is episode 43.
43. Okay. I'm gonna throw to you because I realized as soon as I started talking, I don't know what episode title.
I was about to tell you what episode it was before you started, but
you didn't.
Too late.
Doing the rare hosting 2 weeks in a row here, just because I think it's going to work out better for what we want to talk about. This week we're talking about two movies, Ghost in the Shell and Ghost in the Shell.
Yes.
We're going to compare and contrast the live action movie, came out in 2017, starring Scarlett Johansson, and the dub of the original 1997 movie Ghost in the Shell, starring Mimi Woods.
Mm-hmm.
What we think of them separately, what we think of them together, and probably just be a little bit more free-form discussion. But before we get to that, you want to give a spoiler-free spoiler-free rating for the live action and for the animated movie, Ben?
Just give me my ratings?
Yeah, just ratings.
Alright, this is going to be a hot take. Live action is probably a 7 for me. And the anime and how we watched it was an 8.
Okay. What do you mean by how we watched it?
The dub.
Okay, that's fair. We didn't watch the sub. I don't know if I've ever watched the sub for it.
I think we might have. I don't remember watching the dub.
Okay. I'm sure I've watched this sub for it. You think the sub would have been better?
I think so. I didn't like the performances in the dub.
Okay. I can see that. It is from the 90s, and therefore not as professional as some of the newer dubs are out there. I have problems with the flatness of Mimi Woods' voice, who plays the Major, but those problems actually turn into positives for me. I don't know. I really like her voice. And even though it's like flat, I can kind of like buy that she's just not that emotional.
Yeah, I know, but...
And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that was intentional, but I think it actually adds to the atmosphere. I don't know, something about her voice. I really like it. I definitely see the flaws, like the technical, like, yeah, there are times, but I don't know. I think it works well for the material. I don't think she's done much voice acting after this either.
It doesn't look like it.
I would go in that off of memory after the last time I looked up Mimi Woods. But
just on Wikipedia, she has like a total of like 12 credits.
Yeah. So
nothing I've heard of.
Yeah. So not quite as professional sounding, but I think it really worked for the material.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess just like non-spoiler hot takes is I kind of like the live action movie, and I didn't love the anime movie.
Okay. But you still put the anime above the live action.
Just because of everything else in that anime.
Let's go a little bit into... You want to give a basic plot rundown for either the anime, the live action movie, or both?
Let's see. So kind of the overall theme / plot for both is that we have our main character, the Major, different names in both movies, but kind of goes by the Major in both.
Yep.
Is part of this division that kind of is a counter-terrorist division
Section
for the
9.
government. They're kind of on the tail / tracking some rogue AI / just kind of computer hacker who's taking control of other robot or cyborg / cybernetic people. And they're just trying to get to the bottom of it. There's some explorations into humanity / what is it and other things. We'll get into that later. But then it's just basically tracking down that hacker / AI and trying to take him down. And then other stuff happens. There's some different plot points per different movie, but if you want, we can go into that later.
I mean, we can go into it now if you want. You keep saying AI/hacker. It's believed to be a hacker in both of them, and one of them it turns out to be
Some
like
sort
another
of AI program / some other different.
Yeah, in the anime, it is a conscious. The puppet master is maybe had its roots in AI, but its intelligence is real. It's not an artificial intelligence. It is a real intelligence born from an AI or born from the interconnectedness of the internet or something like that.
An evolved AI.
Yeah,
where it's no longer artificial.
Exactly. It is a true intelligence. It has free will.
Mm-hmm.
And it is. I think he specifically says that he's not an AI. He is a real intelligence, but he is not a human intelligence. Whereas in the live action movie, and I mean, we can just say this spoilers for everything.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched these movies, I mean, at least go watch the anime.
Before we get too far, what are your rankings?
I'm going to go 10 on the anime, and I'm going to go 5 or 6 on the live action.
Okay.
There are things that I just don't like in that live action movie. Going into less spoilery things, I don't know. I didn't really. When I compare and contrast Scarlett Johansson's performance as the Major and other performances, not just in the Mimi Woods one, but also because I've seen some of Standalone Complex and I've seen some of Ghost in the Shell Rise movies.
And I haven't seen any of that, so the only Ghost in the Shell I've seen are these 2 movies.
Yeah, and there's this whole question in the live action movie of, and it's sort of in the anime as well, as, am I really a person's brain in this body, or am I something that was programmed to think that I'm a real person?
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of a thing. And in the anime, the Major is very, like we've mentioned, is very kind of flat, emotionless, which when you're a brain in an immortal robot body,
that's one thing they don't really.
You feel disconnected from humanity, and she comes across as being very, emotionless. Though, there's hints of things, but
I don't think they play out that human part as much in the anime.
Yeah, it's more of just a kind of a question she has, but it's not a big deal. Whereas a central focus of the live action movie. And it's and Scarlett Johansson plays it. She's I think I wrote down. What is it? It's just how can you doubt how? Yeah, she has a lot more emotions. How can you doubt how human you are when your emotions are running crazy and it's just I just don't get that performance of when a person has a personality that's more cold and robotic. It's easier to believe them to be on the threshold between, are they the warmest robot or are they the coldest human, sort of thing. Because that is...
Okay.
Because the coldest human is one step warmer than the warmest robot, sort of thing. That's a thing.
Okay.
That's an actual personality trait thing that you can be diagnosed as the coldest human, or coldest human is not quite the right word, but the warmest robot is something where they're very similar, but one of them is basically you're on the threshold there. And it's a lot easier to believe. The theme of that humanity, what does it mean to be a sentient being? What does it mean to be a human? That's in both. But it's just so much more flagrant and blunt in the live action. You've got, there's just people are always almost the first scene when they kill they blow up the robots that the hacker are taking control of, and the geisha robots, and the Major is looking at one that begged for its life or something. And then I think Bato is just hey, you're not like them. It's it's right away, let's just have this keep being a thing that we keep bringing up instead of the way more subdued thing it is. Where the anime, I will admit, just has moments where it just goes into very long dialogues about these things.
That's one thing. It's just like
it goes into these
Mimi
very long...
Woods delivering dialogue, very wooden, which again kind of makes sense, but it's also just like, ugh.
Yeah, like
get on with this.
Like even though the anime has those scenes, I still feel like they're more flagrant with the live action movie, where it's just like, even though we have like 15, maybe not 15 minutes, but 5 minutes of her talking about this philosophy of it, it's the music cues are there. There's little like ting noises to come in at the right beats, and it just feels more atmospheric, whereas it just feels like we need to mention this 20 times before minute 70,
or else this plot points
or else the I don't know, the people in the theater, the dumb Americans, won't be able to follow along with it.
I'm a dumb American. I need to know she's battling this.
Then when we're just going into like, not even talking about that, but there are scenes where the action just doesn't impress me in the live action movie.
Yeah.
Like
I think as a
anytime
whole,
you see the Major running in that skin tight suit, it just looks so dumb. Like she's just like sprinter perfect form, and it just doesn't look cool.
I think there's some effects that are really good. I think all of the like background / like cityscapes are all pretty good.
Yeah, those are good. I liked I did write down.
I like the idea of like that water scene, like waterfront scene that you get in the anime. Again, the suit's not quite there, but I kind of, as a whole, I kind of like that scene.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. That scene delivered. I really liked when they recreated the scene where she's like tearing off the like her arm tears as she's pulling up that tank piece or like hatch or whatever.
I think it's a little bit more graphic in the anime. I think it's a lot more protrusion, but yeah, it's pretty good.
But I think it's like, okay, they did well on that, recreating that scene.
They did okay.
I didn't
like the scape they put it in. I thought it was a lot cooler in the anime where it's like in that museum.
Yeah, I mean, well, the museum that they're in, and like they're shooting up the tree of life, and the bullets stop at human being, and it's like
I wrote down, does that tree have any significance? And then it's like 5 minutes later, it's like, oh, okay, I get it.
It's just like, yeah, we're stopping right there at the top at human being. It's just like, okay, but like that's, I don't know, that's subtle. It's not.
It's cooler than having like an actual tree.
Yeah.
That just doesn't really have much meaning except for that human emotion or that human connection again.
I guess while we're talking about things that I liked Bato in the live action movie.
Bato is great.
I don't know if I like him more than just normal Bato, because normal Bato, he's like Bato in the live action movie is like he's like this young guy with bleached hair, whereas the white hair on Bato in the anime, you're like, that's just some old fucker who's been doing this too long. And didn't dye his hair when he got a robot body. So, and that's the thing. Like Bato is mostly a robot body in the anime too.
Oh, is he?
Or at least like he's super cybernetically enhanced. He's on par with the Major, if not slightly less.
In live action,
in the live action, the Major is like just the only pure human brain in a robot body. Whereas I think it's a lot more common in the or she might still be. I mean, she's still cutting edge. All of Section 9 is cutting edge. But, like, the fact that in the anime, they're like, oh, no, Togusa, you're part of this team because we're all basically at the same level of cybernetic enhancement, and we kind of need a different perspective. Otherwise, you know, we're not going to notice things that you would. So we need that diversity. Specialization breeds weakness.
That's a really good part.
Over specialized.
I do like Togusa a lot in the anime.
Yeah. Well, he's more of a character. Yeah. I like his actor in the live action movie. Yeah, it's that guy from The Dark Knight.
Let me write it. Let's give the guy I'll find his name.
I don't want to. I'm thinking of something close to his name, but if I just say it and it's completely wrong, then I'll feel racist. So I'm just gonna let you look it up.
It's Chin Han.
Chin Han. I thought it was. Chin something or Yin something, but
No. Chen Han, Singaporean actor.
you'd like this, not in the movie, but in Standalone Complex, he's voiced by Crispin Freeman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
That's another. This is not a real complaint, but this is my joke complaint. Not once in the live action movie did they make fun of Telga's old fashioned gun.
Okay.
It's such a recurring thing in the anime to be like, you're still using that old gun? Use the automatic. He's like, I like my old gun. But not once did they mention it. I mean, all of Section 9 is cool in the live action movie. Section 9.
It's fine. I like the leader.
Yeah.
I like how he speaks.
He's just
Japanese.
Yeah.
Because it takes place in Japan.
Yeah. They're just like
but nobody else does.
Everybody's got auto translators built into their brain. You don't need to. And or they all speak Japanese and English. Like, you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah. I just thought he was cool.
Yeah. I mean, he has a badass moment in the live action movie, whereas in the anime, it's just like, I'm just this really, like, I'm the section chief because I have a lot of experience being, and I'm not really an action guy per se.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's ever action-y in Arise or in Standalone Complex. I never finished Standalone Complex, and it's been too long.
Yeah.
But it's just like, okay, he's not cool in the action sense in the anime. He's cool in the fact that he's in charge for a reason.
Yeah.
He's not like necessarily a quote unquote genius, but he knows the rigmarole. He knows the right call to make.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, he's a leader.
Yeah.
He's that cool, gruff leader.
Yeah. Going back to things, I don't know. This is really just, I guess, turning into me ranting about the live action movie.
That's fine.
Let's go talk about the water scene and compare those two. So I think it was fine in the live action. They did an okay job recreating that action scene where she's invisible in the water.
Yeah. The thing that is sorely missed, though, is that lead up. Because in the live action, it's kind of a little bit of a shootout, and then he's at the water. Or in the anime, it's like this big, almost not 5 minutes, but it's a good
chase.
Good chase where it's like through vendors, and then he gets into an empty alleyway. There's a bunch of atmospheric music and everything going on, and then he gets to the water. Yeah, and it's really good. It's great.
The atmosphere in the water is way better in the anime. Like, there's a scene where like the puddles kind of like stop rippling, and you can just, even though you can't see the major, she still casts a shadow, and you can see the shadow in the water. And like, okay, that's cool. There's nothing there, but I can see the shadow. It's like, that kind of, I guess, would be how that would work, because the light's still getting blocked. Yeah. So, I don't know. It was way better.
I feel like any nod they make to the from the anime, it's like, it was a good attempt.
Yeah,
but
it was
it's
a
not
good
there.
attempt. It's just not, like, I almost would have preferred they just went somewhere completely different. Which they, to be fair to them, they do go pretty different, but they still shoehorn in a lot of the classic scenes just under different light, like different circumstances. And like, okay, we have the spider tank fight. And they straight up call it a spider tank instead of just calling it a tank. Yeah. Like, I mean, you could have just called it a tank. That's what they did in the anime.
Spider tank is cooler.
It's an okay name. It's just like, it's just drawing attention to the fact that it's different than what we think.
When I was gonna host, I was gonna call you Spider Tank.
What am I gonna say now? I didn't like the slow motion that they would have.
Slow motion's hard to do.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I mean, we watch like the slow-mo guys' videos. It's like, well, these are interesting, but it's not built into a plot
with CG in it.
And it's like the Matrix does really good slow motion, but they have good choreography with that slow motion where it's like,
also like that bullet time.
Yeah,
I don't know if it all is, but
yeah, and it's just like they threw the slow motion into the action scenes, and it just didn't feel right. Again, it's just like her running. It just doesn't look right. in live action. That would be the most efficient way to run, and she would run like that, but doesn't mean it looks cool.
One of the notes I wrote was like, ScarJo has a very interesting walk.
Yeah, that's fair.
She doesn't walk normally. She walks almost with her arms.
Yeah, well, she's doing like the sprinter pumping the arms thing.
Yeah, even when she's walking though, I'm just like, that's interesting. I don't know if that's brilliant or really weird.
Yeah, and I like Scarlett Johansson as an actress, but I don't know, it just didn't feel right.
I think she's good in parts and not good in other parts.
Yeah. The use of the word ghost just doesn't seem right in the live action. It works in the anime because at times you're just like thinking it's like, oh, it's just the first time you hear it is she's just like, I just got to whisper in my ghost, and they maybe mention the word soul once or twice. Where
well, I think the main thing is that in live action you actually see like a human brain put into the body, so it's like, okay, so it is an actual human brain. She is human. But where in Ghost in the anime, you really don't see that part.
Yeah.
So there is kind of questions on, I guess, if she is actually part human, or like how much of it is actually human, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I don't even mean that. I just feel like I cringed every time they use the word ghost in a scientific sense in the live action. And it's just like, you feel like... But then we watched live action before watching the anime, so I wrote down like, you feel like you'd use a more scientific word than ghost. But then in the anime they also use it as scientific, but then they're like yes, the ghost link or the ghost mainframe, or like I don't know, it just works better. I don't know if it's the delivery of it or how they do it, but I cringed every time they said it in the live action, and it felt fine every time they said it in the anime. I don't know. That might just be me.
That just might be you.
I want to talk about the garbage truck guys.
Okay.
How that scene, because it's another scene where they kind of took that part from the anime. In the live action, they just kind of get like possessed,
Mm-hmm.
and you can tell before it, the guy's giving the whole spiel like, I'm. My wife's taking my daughter away from me, and he has those implanted memories that he had in the anime. But in the anime, if you're just in the live action, if you're just going to possess them and have them do whatever bidding that you tell them to do, both of them, then why the hell did you feel the need to implant the memories about the daughter and the wife? Whereas in the anime, those memories serve a purpose.
That's the reason he's using the codes.
Yeah, that's the reason he's doing the hacking for them. It's like I've implanted this memory so that you can act like a normal person doing something shady to get back at your wife or whatever.
Yeah.
And therefore you have like some sort of alibi about what you're doing, and you're not going to arouse suspicion.
Yes.
And then the reveal of like, what are you talking about? You've lived alone for the past 10 years. This picture you thought was of you and your daughter is you and your dog.
Yeah.
And, it's just it's a great moment. And it gives you a chance to... It gives you an opportunity...
They show you the picture in the anime.
Yeah.
I don't think they do that in live action.
Yeah. I don't remember if they do live action or not either. But it's a great moment to both give you the idea that, hey, hacked memories and implanted things are real.
Yeah.
Happened to this dude. Maybe it's happening to the Major too. Maybe, it gives you like an organic reason to deliver that dialogue that explains what happens, because you're somebody trying to rehabilitate someone that this has happened to, and like, okay, this is not just a possibility, it is real. It has happened. We have precedents for this. Not just a hypothetical, did they implant me memories or not?
I feel like the only reason why they did it in the live action is so that Kuze, the like hacker guy, can like possess him while he's being interrogated. Because that was the thing in the live action, is that he like takes over that guy's, I guess, body and then talks to the Major.
But he could have done that without implanting the
He
memories.
could have.
It's just like, we got this guy.
But it could have been like a thing where like he had to like do something in there just so that he had access to it or something. But I don't know.
I mean, like, yeah, he obviously had to hack into the guy's brain, but...
Or it could have been just a thing where like he needed time to like...
Yeah. But like Kuze's powers are he can just control somebody once he's hacked into their brain.
That's true.
And therefore, whereas I feel like the Puppet Master couldn't necessarily just control somebody with a brain. All he could do was implant memories and get them to... Or I don't even know if the Puppet Master is the one who did that, or if that was Section 6 trying to trap the Puppet Master. Because really, Section 6 are the bad guys in the anime. Bad guys is not even the right word, but they're trying to hide a top secret thing that went out of control.
Yeah.
And the Puppet Master... in both, the Puppet Master and Kuze become a sympathetic... figure that the Major kind of switched sides on.
Live action Honka. Stupid name. Honka Robotics is the bad guy that we learn.
Which, in the anime, it's just like...
They're kind of, but...
I don't think they're called Honka Robotics.
No, it's Robotech or something.
Yeah.
Megatech.
Yeah, which might just be 90s anime dub script changing something to sound cool.
Is it Megatech like an actual anime? That's Robotech.
Robotech is
I
don't know if it's called Robotech in Japan, but it is called Robotech in America at least. I watched the first 4 episodes of that. It shows its age.
Yeah.
So like I just feel like they just put that in there to have that callback to the original, and it just had so much more weight in the original. I also liked that the other driver, whose memories weren't hacked whatsoever, and was just like, you're a piece of trash, but I'm not going to call the cops, because the cops are trash, too.
Yeah.
The guy we had before, he got busted up for not speaking English.
I'm just here to do my job.
He's like, but I still like him better than you. Like that guy. I like the other garbage truck driver.
Again, the interrogation. The aesthetic of the live action is kind of cool. I kind of like the interrogation room, but it's just like...
I mean, I feel like if I wanted to watch... an American-produced live-action Ghost in the Shell, I just watched Blade Runner.
Yeah.
It deals with a lot of the same themes.
I think that's the issue. It's like, Blade Runner just does it so much better.
Yeah. And it's just like, don't get me wrong, I like wet neon Tokyo aesthetic. It's my jam. But, it's my favorite map in Mario Kart is Neo Bowser City, which is...
Yeah.
Wet Tokyo neon theme.
That's one thing I could kind of mention. I feel like the live action is more that neo noir type of style, where in the anime I get a little bit more kind of more dystopian. Not in the terms of like everything's the shit.
You don't get cyberpunk from it?
Maybe cyberpunk, but not neo punk. I guess.
Yeah, it's not neon. It's most certainly not neon, but I would call it cyberpunk.
Okay, I guess
I mean, you got.
I basically combine.
You combine cyberpunk and the neon. Yeah, because
I guess most of the time, if you see cyberpunk, there's like neon in it.
Yeah, because it works.
Yeah,
it's very. But no, this one is more gray and black and green, more almost Matrixy. But Matrixy is not really.
It's more green.
Yeah. But but it's most certainly cyberpunk. Just look at what the Major's wearing in the first scene, which is a dope ass leather
trench coat
type thing. That's got like the little like loincloth.
Yeah,
the slits on the side that makes it look like I don't know. And then she just like takes it off and she's wearing the thermo
suit.
Yeah. Thermoptic camouflage.
Thermoptic camouflage. Like in the anime, she has like a veil to cover the face.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I mean, it's just a great scene, which they did an okay job recreating in the live action, where she just kind of like puts her hand over her face and then disappears.
Again, good effort, just not there.
Good effort. It just feels off. I don't know.
Could just be that thing where it's just sometimes it's really hard to just imitate.
Yeah.
Anime.
I
Just
think
'cause
so.
It's
It's a
totally
completely
different
different
mediums.
medium.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to do it one for one, it's not going to work. And I think that's the biggest thing is that some things they didn't do one for one, and it feels like, like all the stuff they added was whatever. I don't care. But but then the stuff that they tried to do one for one, it just wasn't quite there. I'd rather watch the anime.
Okay.
The one thing I wrote down is that the live action is all answers and no questions at the end.
Okay.
They have an answer for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the anime, it's a lot more questions that you don't necessarily get a good answer on.
Well, I feel like you kind of
you can
get
dig
the
into
answer.
them. You can get to
Or it's
them.
like, okay, this is what happened, but then you're like, what does this mean?
Yes.
That type of question.
Whereas in the live action, you're like, okay, it's all resolved.
Yeah.
And
She's.
I did have memories implanted. I was somebody completely
I am
different.
no longer Mira Killian, which is her name.
Nor am I
Matoka.
yeah.
Motoko Kusanagi.
Yeah, which is the name of the major in
the
the anime.
but
Yeah.
live
It's
action.
like, I am not either of them. My name is just Major. Which, to be fair, she just kind of goes by Major in the anime as well. But I have another thing to complain about.
Okay.
I don't like the name change because I feel like it just wasn't quite what the theme felt like. Because it's not that... It doesn't embrace her past. If she was like, I'm not Major Mary Killiam, I am not Motoko Kusanagi, if she'd have said, like, I'm Major Kusanagi,
Okay.
or, like, somehow, like, combine them, I felt like it would have worked better than
It
just
basically
going
just makes that whole subplot of her.
her discovering that she is human and all that. It's just like, well, I don't care about that. I'm just Major. I am just a soldier.
Okay.
I am just a part of this team. Which, to be fair, Section 9 is who she can trust.
Yeah.
But she has this, like, reconciling. She tells her mom, it's like, you don't need to visit this gravestone anymore. You don't need to come here anymore. So it's like, oh, okay. She's embracing that.
Yeah.
This is who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Your daughter is not dead.
Yeah.
But then she's like, oh, but no, I'm not using that name. I'm just the Major. I'm not that person anymore. So it's like, it's trying to have both, and it doesn't really work.
So trying to eat the. What's that saying?
Eat your cake and have it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do I have... Oh, I wrote down all the scenes that they tried to, like, recreate one for one. The jump sequence at the beginning, the robo-body creation sequence at the beginning,
Okay.
which I like that robo-body creation sequence. It was...
In the live action?
Yeah, the
I
live
thought it was
action.
cool. Yeah.
The water fight, she goes diving. They try to recreate that.
I kind
Spider
of like
tank
that
fight.
in the live, in terms of her being underwater. Just adds a little bit more color than the anime.
Yeah, I don't really remember.
Also,
The
there's
live action
they
underwater.
showed jellyfish. I'm a sucker for jellyfish.
I don't really remember the diving scene in the live action one, if I'm being honest. I wrote it down, but I don't remember it. Does it still have the thing where she's like, she's seeing her like reflection, that she's meeting it as she's rising? Does it still have that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I just remember the jellyfish.
Because the whole like reason for the diving is like, I like the diving for two parts. One, like it's sensory deprivation, and I feel like I'm like alone and therefore conscious and human. And then when I rise to the surface, it feels like I'm becoming a new person.
Okay.
And I don't know if they really hit that hard. They might have. I don't remember the diving sequence in the live action. We watched this movie, 3 nights ago?
Yes.
So
It's
Sunday, right? That we watched it?
we watched it Sunday.
Any other notes that I have here? The tearing sequence was good. Didn't like the slow motion.
Live action hot takes. Cybernetics are gross. I don't like it.
I like
I
it.
think that scene where like the Kuze rips out that girl's like eyes.
Oh yeah,
And it's
it was a little
gross.
gross under there because it's just like that is like believable flesh eyes that are they're not even ripped out. It's just like she like lifted it. It's like a faceplate part that comes off and lifts up so that she can do robot eyes or whatever for something. It's not like he ripped it off. But yeah, it's just like it's like finding it. It's like if you found a piece of flesh. It's like in here's our other guy's reference for the episode. It's like just finding a deer vagina in your Prius.
It's just gross.
It's just gross.
Why would you do that?
Wow, there's a piece of flesh here.
Ugh.
That is separate from its body. No, thank you. Oh, did they just kill the bad guy, the Hanka Robotics guy?
Yeah.
It's just like, hey Major, do you mind if you want us to kill this guy? And then they kill him. It just seems like, I feel like that's not the way to do this.
Yeah.
Like bring him up for crimes or something. I don't know, but just like, no, we're gonna kill you.
The other take was, it must be a nightmare to sleep in that city. So many lights.
But that's every city.
That's true. It must be a nightmare to sleep in cities.
Yeah, but in the country you have to deal with crickets.
That's fine.
Frogs.
That's fine. I have a fan. That blows all that out.
Well,
it's the lights.
You get shades and or
it's too much.
Curtains, and then
I can't afford those types of curtains.
Blackout curtains? They're not that expensive to get anything of blackout curtains. I think the curtains in my room are technically considered blackout curtains. They don't do the greatest job, but no, it'd be.
That was all.
Section 9. They did a good job of making the people in Section 9 cool. Togasa and the Chief and Bato and all the other ones that I don't
Togasa
remember.
anything to do.
They don't.
They had
Togasa
two
doesn't have
token guys.
Yeah.
They just don't do anything either.
Yeah, well, in the anime, there's a lot of Section 9 people that don't do much either. It's really just the Chief, Togasa, Bato, and...
Bato's cool.
Yeah.
I like Bato.
Bato was good in the... And his dogs.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence?
No.
It's trippy.
Yeah.
It's, Bato is the lead.
Oh, really?
And, like, the Major shows up in, like, one extended sequence, I think, but as, like, but she's, like, an internet being, and, like, and it gets sort of, mind-fucking at points, and it's, like, I only watched it once, but I remember it being weird and cool. I should get really tired sometime and watch it again. That's when I have I refuse to enter an altered state through chemical means. I must be tired to enter an altered state.
Yes, by natural means.
Yeah. I mean, I've ranted about the live action movie now. I don't know if that hurt or helped to your feelings about it, but
I think it gives more context. I think you're basically right on everything. I just am less annoyed by that stuff, I guess. In terms of stories.
I really wanted to like this movie. I think I gave it like a 7 or an 8 when I saw it in theaters. But
I'm a dumb American, so I don't mind all
you're
that
not
kind
dumb. You're very intelligent.
I don't mind them over-explaining or like, I don't know what you called it, dumbing down the story or whatever. I'm just like, okay, cool. I know what's happening. That's fine. I like this. Sure.
Well, and I'm fine with things being dumbed down for the most part. If there's something else drawing my attention, and I feel like the action didn't do a good enough job of doing that. Whereas, like, okay, if you're going to tone down the philosophical side of this and make it more action-packed, which is what they tried to do, it just didn't work for me.
I don't know. I just feel like they just tried to add more to the story is why it maybe felt off.
Well, the original anime, 82
it's like
minutes.
82 minutes, where they try to take an hour and 20-minute movie into a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Which I think that's where it kind of got to its issues. It's expanded it too much.
Yeah.
And then, like, in that 82-minute anime, there's a 5-minute sequence where it's just them showing cityscapes or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the best part of the movie for me. I'm like, this is awesome.
Well, I think there's something I noticed in that sequence I can talk about for a little bit. It's just the the Major like looking around as she's like coming into work, and like at one point you can see the Major like in the window of a shop somewhere, and it's just like it's a subtle moment because it could be, well, is she remembering being in that shop? Is she actually like, are we witnessing her in real time being in that shop, or is that her noticing somebody that looks exactly like her, and she knows that she is a cybernetic body, and therefore might not be looking like she would have looked before? Is she not a real person? Is that the real person, and I'm just a copy made in their image? Or it could be, it's vague, it could be any of those things that I just listed, but it gives you that idea of thinking.
Oh, what I was thinking? Like, this is cool.
Yeah. Well, it is, and that music that's playing is
I love that
atmospheric
music.
and it's great.
Anytime that shows up in an anime, I'm just like, yes! Give me this! Give me 20 minutes of this.
It's just hand-drawn, beautiful. And it's not, the city itself is not beautiful. It's ugly.
Yeah.
But the animation showing that ugliness was astounding. It's just like...
so good. It's my favorite part of the movie. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Oh, man.
Okay. The notes I have for the anime. Was that guy Don Knotts?
No.
There's
No
just
one
a
guy
random
that sounds like
who's,
Don Knotts.
trying to take his trash out. I was like, oh, dang it, I missed the trash collectors.
I thought because he was making a call, I could get down here and catch him.
Yeah. Sound like Don Knotts. I'm like, holy crap, they got him for this?
Don't think so. Don't think they got Don Knotts.
I don't think so either. I wrote down all that. We talked about that. Actually, that was it. Oh, the Puppet Master guy sounds like Juan Carlo Esposito.
Okay. I could hear that, yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I like this guy.
I mean, and I like the Puppet Master character better than the well, it goes back to my questions and answers thing. Yeah. Because the Puppet Master is like, Major and I, we are he just says like we're similar or something along those lines. Whereas it's just like, wait, do you mean that she is also was not a real human and is therefore some other construct born from an AI? Or do you just mean that she is approaching roboticism just as roboticism is approaching humanity, and that's how they're similar? Which I take it as like, the second.
I think his kind of goal was to like evolve like a human.
Yeah. So
like the way he saw that was to kind of, in a way, reproduce.
Yeah. So he's like, I can copy myself, but a copy does not leave room for mutation.
Yes.
Which is what humanity brings. That's he's like, this is the last line separating me from being considered like a human.
Yeah.
And not in the biological sense, but in the philosophical sense that, you know, what does it mean to be human? It means to be sentient, aware of your surroundings, have some, you know, human intelligence, and then also be able to evolve. Yeah. Pass on your traits while allowing room for mutation and therefore allowing for evolution. So if he is approaching humanity close enough and the Major is approaching robotics close enough, then if they can somehow intermingle and create a new being that would be their offspring, they would have to sort of die in the process, which is sort of like,
in a sense, proving their humanity, I guess.
Yeah.
And that they
can prove their humanity and that they can produce something different by merging together. They just have to do it by actually merging together instead of, you know, a sperm and an egg merging together. So
I like that the AI asked for diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, I request sanctum. I wouldn't call it diplomatic immunity. I would call it sanctuary or something. Asylum. I request asylum.
Is that what he said? I thought it was diplomatic immunity.
Well, no, because diplomatic immunity was the...
that was the beginning, yeah.
That was the beginning, so...
I just thought
it was like diplomatic asylum.
Yeah.
As a sentient being. I mean, we're at 45 minutes.
Oops. Wrong button.
I don't know if we really need to talk more about this and drag this on, like the live action dragged on the movie. I guess I liked the scenes in the live action where she like interacted with her mother. I guess I like those scenes a bit.
Her mother was a really good actor.
Yeah.
I liked her. Again, I think acting as a whole is pretty good in the movie.
Yeah.
ScarJo's, again, hit and miss. I think she's good in some parts. Other parts, it's kind of hard, but...
Yeah. But yeah, all of Section 9 I thought was cool, at least. I didn't really care, I guess, for the Hanka Robotics people. Both the lady that was sort of like viewed...
The doctor.
The Major as a daughter figure to her.
Yeah.
Or the CEO that's just like... I'm developing this thing as a weapon, and I don't care how many humans we have to sacrifice to...
98.
Yeah.
That's something they don't put in the anime. Probably for good reason. It's like, okay, whatever.
What? Just the...
We killed 98 people to get to this part.
Like... Well, I think that's because it's not something that happened in the anime. They're just like... We
have
been developing cybernetics to various extents throughout this, and the Major's the top of the line cybernetic, where it's all cyborg, just a human brain, and therefore hopefully a ghost in the shell. Name drop. Take a drink.
Almost out of water. I can't do any more name drops. I'm out of water.
Well, we're about out of time. I think we've extended our thoughts on.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Watch the animated movie. Don't get like a Blu-ray release of it. Get an old DVD, because any of the Blu-ray releases are they like add a bunch of CGI because they're trying to improve
Star Wars
the animation and it's just like I guess I just don't know if CGI was quite there at the point that they were doing that, and I've been avoiding them like the plague. I'm like, no, I want all hand-drawn animation.
Oh yeah.
I bought this DVD used at an anime convention, and it's just, it doesn't have, as far as I can tell, it didn't have any like CGI that wasn't part of the original movie, at least.
I didn't see anything.
So, whereas I know those re-releases are like remastered, and what they mean is they use CGI for some things, and it's probably not quite there.
I wonder if I should get rid of the nipples.
I don't know.
I
thought at one point they might have censored them out, because you just see like, you can see the shape of the nipple but not the color. But I'm like, oh no, that's her wearing the thermoptic camouflage, because you straight up see nipples in other parts. So it's like, not that I really care that much, but I mean, it's just like, well, why don't censor their artists? But it's not that my DVD was drawn over. That was intentional. Otherwise, they would have censored these other nipples here, and they didn't. So it's the thermoptic camouflage that looks like human skin tone for the most part. So yeah, watch it on a DVD or a VHS. Don't get a Blu-ray of it, unfortunately.
Did they make a VHS?
Yeah, it's the 90s.
That's true.
They would have made a VHS for it. Should get it on VHS. No, have it on DVD.
Hold on. Let me see.
No, we're ending the podcast here.
No, what do you call that?
Do you want me to fill for time?
Fill.
Okay. There's another word for it, but I can't think of it right now. I have all of at least the first season of Standalone Complex, if we wanted to watch that sometime.
Yeah, maybe.
Which, Standalone Complex, they have two types of episodes. They have standalone episodes, and they have complex episodes. So the complex episodes are this ongoing story for the season. And the standalone episodes are in between these ongoing stories for the seasons. We're going to just have like individual missions that, open and close throughout the whole thing. I don't know if that box set I have includes Second Gig, because they might consider that, even though it says the whole series, they might consider Second Gig a different series. I should really watch the fourth Arise movie. I think I've seen the first three, but I don't know if they're still on Netflix or not. Vamp. That was the word I was looking for.
Vamp. Yep, that's it.
Flickr, I hardly know her. Sorry, I'm on Flickr.com. I don't know what this is.
I'm trying to think of a Scarlett Johansson performance that I really, really liked.
I haven't watched a lot of ScarJo. Oh, Home Alone 3.
Home Alone 3?
Yeah, she plays the sister.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, Black Widow is hit or miss for me. She's fine. I guess not hit or miss, but hit or whatever for me. I wouldn't call it a miss. I guess I liked Her. I think that's a hot take to like the movie Her, but just an all voice role in Her, and she's got a beautiful voice, so her voice didn't feel right in this though. I don't know.
I'm trying to think of an animated movie she's in. Can't think of any right now. That's a joke.
Am I done vamping?
Yeah, it looks like it's available, but to varying.
Yeah, varying degrees of quality, and who knows with a VHS.
One that
our
said
VCR
good condition
isn't the
on eBay
greatest.
for like $20. So.
Remember when we tried to watch the Ninja Turtle movie on our VCR, and it would either be like herky jerky in color or stable in black and white. It played the VHS in black and white. I'm like, is this intentional? No, it's not.
I'm just like, it's your call. I'll watch it in black and white.
So we stopped it. We tried to play it again, and then it was herky jerky, and you're like, no. Go. It's streaming on HBO Max. Go put it on. Like, fine.
I can do black and white. I can't do herky jerky.
Yeah. That reminds me when I bought this movie, Ghost in the Shell, the live action movie, from when our Family Video closed down, and we bought a whole bunch of movies. So I've got the Family Video copy of it.
You have 2 copies?
What? No.
Oh, okay. So
the live action one is Family Video. The anime I bought from an anime convention.
Gotcha.
But one of the other movies I bought was Logan on Blu-ray, specifically the black and white cut. And the person selling it to me was like, "You do know this is the black and white cut?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine. That's the way they want me to see this movie." I don't think I've watched the black and white cut, but
do you know that movie's secretly a Western?
What? Then we can't do blank check bits on this. We can't.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Cut
that out.
I cut out. No, I'm going to put it in double it.
You did it again.
Go listen to Blank Check. It's way better than this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I've listened to every episode.
And twice as long.
Yeah. I need to, I guess I need to subscribe to the Patreon now so I can listen to their franchise episodes because I'm all caught up on their backlog of.
I'm already subscribed. But
I
I don't listen to them yet.
I know you are.
Because I'm not caught up on their main feed.
Yeah.
Anyways, no more. Any last thoughts on Ghost in the Shell?
Go watch it. Have your own opinions. Tell me I'm wrong about the live action movie and give me valid arguments.
Yeah, agree with me. Say it's fine. It's fine.
It's. I'll give it a 6. I'll top out at a 6.
I might go down to like 6.5. But it's still fine. It's got its moments.
Bato is cool.
Bato's cool.
Watch Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence. He's the main character in that one. Okay. You are now leaving. Oh, shit.
You gotta plug.
I gotta plug stuff.
I got this. So follow us on Twitter at anime_territory.
Yep.
There's no anime territory pod, or is it just?
It's just at anime_territory.
Okay, I don't follow us, so I don't know. That's a lie. I do.
You're one of our 4
followers.
Follow
us on Twitter. You can listen to us on any podcast format.
Yep, any podcast platform you can think of.
We are on YouTube at Anime Territory. We have the Cityscape logo. So
if you see another thing that says Anime Territory, we're the one with the Cityscape logo.
Yes.
Kind of Ghost in the Shell vibes.
Yeah. And then we stream sometimes on Twitch.
Twitch.tv/DementedGoku.
We might do something this Saturday as we're recording.
So after it'll be last night as this goes up.
Yeah.
But we put stream archives up on YouTube on the YouTube, same YouTube Anime Territory. I just want to note that they talk about our podcast briefly and me for like 5 or 10 minutes in the latest episode of Experience Share, a Pokemon podcast, which you can find anywhere that you can find podcasts. Because I won the chance to battle them in Pokemon and beat both of them. So go listen to them because they told you to listen to us. So I feel like we should tell you to listen to them.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Okay, now you are now leaving the anime territory.
Goodbye.